Well. Good evening, everybody. Yes, we're back with our post-match analysis of, that performance today. And it all started so perfectly. 6 minutes on the clock, we took the lead. Mumba to Waidu to Talai, and what a finish. Sublime. It just seems to come naturally to him, doesn't it? Home Park was rocking, momentum was ours, and Wimbledon were rattled. But as we've seen before, hope can be a fragile thing. A late first half equaliser and suddenly the visitors had belief. The second half, Wimbledon came out firing. We knew they were going to be on the front foot. A poor decision from Hazard though when we had time and should have just calmed the game down. And a misstep from Ibrahim under pressure. And Argyle found themselves behind. Yes, we did. From then on, the story was the same. Possession without penetration, struggle against strength. Even Mitchell pushed forward late on in a desperate attempt to salvage something. Well, we also had 2 penalty shouts waved away as well, and Edwards' one looked stone wall. But another shocking day, it has to be said, for the officials, and another frustrating afternoon for us, Green Army. So where do we go from here? Well, on Thursday, up the A38 to face Exeter, of course. Both sides level on 13 points. A derby with everything on the line. Pride, momentum and belief. And if there's a glimmer of light, ladies and gentlemen, it's this. Our away form has been strong. So 5 games on the road ahead of us now. Could this be the run that defines our season, good, bad, or indifferent? So this is the Block 9 podcast. Evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. And we have with us tonight, as usual, the motley crew of myself, Andy, Carl, and Gavin. Yes, the WhatsApp group has been on fire, and I'm just going to go straight to it. Carl, give us your views on that performance and that game today.
Well, I've just got off the phone to Specsavers. I've got an appointment on Monday morning, but we'll get to that a bit later on, no doubt, about a certain somebody's performance.
I mean, we're all wearing glasses, including me today.
Before the game, I think generally we were all feeling positive, as we tend to be, because the form of late has been pretty good. Obviously, the home form's been a bit dodgy, but away from home, we picked up and performances have been a bit better. And I did think today we would put Wimbledon to the sword. You know, we've had 2 weeks off. We've got some injured players back. Edwards was back in the squad, which should have given us a big lift. And it did for the first 10 minutes. We took the lead with Talai. Great through ball to him. Cracking finish. And I just thought that, scoring first early on in the game, he would have gone on. Took the game by the scruff of the necks and pushed for a second and third goal, but it didn't really happen. Again, Gavin will touch on this later about the refereeing. That didn't help. We had a stonewall penalty not given in the first half. Wimbledon were playing on every decision, falling down at the slightest of touches, which didn't kind of help our game. We just couldn't get a foothold in it because the game kept stopping every 5 minutes. And yeah, we didn't really penetrate enough. Second half was worse. Wimbledon got into the game a lot more. Defence was tested a lot more today, and I think we struggled against their attackers, and they were quite physical. Yeah. Which we are in a way ourselves. We're quite a physical team, but we really struggled against Wimbledon today. I thought Mitchell was way off the pace, which was a shame. And he got caught out at the back quite a few times. But yeah, it's not great. And on to Thursday, I'm dreading Thursday's result or game, if I'm honest, because I think if we lose up there, it's going to be all doom and gloom again. But I'm just hoping that away form has picked up like it has the last couple of away games, and we go away to Exeter and put in another good performance and get 3 points. But we fixed our away day form, but the home form now has just took a massive downturn now, hasn't it? So we need to find some consistency somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Andy, sort of, obviously, we sit next to each other, and I stood with you for the last couple of minutes, and if you don't mind me saying, you were proper, annoyed. I got Sophie next to me, so I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it clean, folks. But and I can get that. I sort of left and digesting everything for this show. I was sort of like, I just really disappointed today with the lads. But go on, Andy, tell us how you saw the game from start to finish and how you feel now after a few hours are thinking about it.
Right. Okay, where do I start with this one? So I'm living up to my name at the minute, so I'm still grumpy loyal and very grumpy loyal today. First sort of 6 to 10 minutes, I thought we were good. When we scored the goal, I thought, go and get another one, and we looked really good. And then I thought, like, we're still playing the game, or stop the game. I mean, it was very poor for about half an hour after that until they scored their second, and then we had to suddenly get ourselves out of gear and then try to play football again. We were just it's frustrating when you see players of the quality of Talai up front. They're always pumping the ball up front. When you've got sort of 6'8", 6'9" defenders, they're going to head the ball away every time. What's the point of playing it up in the air like that when you've got to get it on the floor and play football? We can do that. We've seen it. So frustrated. Yeah, really frustrated. Still frustrated. Calm it down a little bit.
I did suggest the counsellor got a counsellor as we were walking down the road at the end.
I need to have a word with myself, really.
Absolutely. I mean, Gavin, Wimbledon really sat back after they scored that second goal. They were well organised. I definitely feel our first 20 minutes, we did rattle them and we had some, sort of good bits of play. But once they got that second, they did sort of shut the doors and stop us, really. We had loads of possession, but we weren't creating. We did create some, but not enough to get something back. But how are you feeling after that one today? What's your thoughts, mate?
Difficult, I think. I've got a hoarse voice because I spent most of my time shouting expletives to the linesman and the fourth official below me, and the ref, when he was my side of the pitch. I think the word's probably naive. I think naive and frustrating. We're not getting battered. We're not sitting there getting beat up by these teams. Everyone's saying, these last three games, we haven't got the right results. You're right. Have we, last three results at home, have we been battered off the park? No. I can't remember Hazard making one save in the game. The one where he made a mistake actually in the first half. He palmed down when the ball came across the box. The only save I can remember him making.
Correct, yeah.
Other than that, he didn't really have a lot to do. We've had a brain fart in the first half with a rollout and then a bit of loose control, and then we've basically given them a goal on a plate. For the second one, sorry, the first one, there's a foul in midfield from where I was sat, and I was right above it. Plays waved on, but nothing's new there. I think every time we blew in their ear, they fell over and rolled over, and it was very Wickham-esque, and they won every decision. There was some massive tugging and pulling and yanking and awful decisions in the midfield, and especially the top two. I thought Aseni and Talai both had a very difficult afternoon with some very Bauer's a lump, and I said that on Thursday night. He's a lump. They were manhandling every opportunity, and we probably got less than 5% of the decisions. I had a text from James Greenacre, who sat in the Wimbledon end because that's where he's from.
Of course,
he said the referee's an absolute shocker. What was interesting was half time for Joe Edwards' penalty. Even Wimbledon or Don's TV said, the Argyle players got in front of him. He's connected, and we're very lucky to not concede there. So if the myopic partisan TV crew of the opposition have basically said we got away with one, how the referee it wasn't en croute, Voodoo. It was just venison, but it was nice. I'll show you a photo of it. It was frustrating to say the least, and Joe Edwards came in because Mitchell rushed back to London to be with family from his recent.
There's still issues there, right?
So Joe came out and did the after speech stuff in Club Argyle, and he said, "I got my first toe to the ball, and I was kicked and brought down to the referee. What do you say to that?" And he said, "Well, I disagree. I think it wasn't touched." When he went to the fourth official and the linesman, they both basically said to him, "Yeah, you might have a case there. You might have been a bit unlucky."
Yeah, well,
refereeing.
I think the fact the linesman was looking straight at it is a fallacy because
look, right. Were we good enough for 3 points? No. Was a draw probably a fair result on reflection? Probably.
Yeah.
Everybody as frustrated as they are right now? Probably, right? So I'm not saying that dodgy refereeing has cost us points, and we would have won and blah blah blah. That's not the case. We're not good enough. We got bullied today in midfield. I think if we're going to play against these lumpy, very big, very physical sides playing 3-5-2 or 3-5-2, then we have to come up with a different way. I remember Shuey in the promotion year starting with 4 centre backs as a back four up at Wickham, and we battered them off the park, and they did not get past us. Maybe that's something we need to look at. I don't know, but I didn't think we were terrible at all. I thought we were okay. There were some really good transitions to play. Keepers pulled off a worldie, by the way. So the volley in the second half I was right in line behind. Talai's hit that sweet as a nut about 7 yards out, and he's got a leg to it and kept it out. How, I do not know. So again, another day, that flicks off the shin, goes in. It's 2-2 with them, back in the game, and the home park lifts and blah, blah, blah. So, but if my auntie had a appendage, she'd be my uncle. I was going to use another word then, and I saw your daughter. So are we playing well enough at home? No. Is everybody going to come to home park and play 3-5-2? Yes. Or 4-5-1? Yes. Are we going to have to learn? Yes. But I think there was enough today. One thing that really, I suppose, frustrated me from the stand, seeing pattern to play, was didn't move the ball quick enough.
No, correct. Too slow at the back.
The idea was there, but the execution was the extra touch, and then the pass didn't have the zip. And you can't blame the pitch because everyone was slipping over like an ice rink, so it was obviously wet enough. So, Ty took his goal really well. We were really first 20 minutes. I was really impressed. We kind of fell asleep. There was a foul in midfield, which cost us the first goal. We should react better. Ross gets bullied off the ball, I think, from
100%
centre forward. But we could do better to stop the cross, and there's lots of other things before that. The madness of the second half goal was just beggars belief. Really.
Unnecessary.
Sorry?
Unnecessary. It was just unnecessary. Hazard just didn't need to do that.
And that just epitomises the Argyle this year. And I think Tom's really, and I've seen some, by the way, I'm just going to caveat this. I'm definitely lumping everything back into Unilever because there are some bedwetters out there today saying Cleverly's going to be sacked if we lose against Exeter. Give your fucking head a wobble. Not a chance in hell. I don't know. I think this can be blamed on him. His tactics picked naive, but you can't be out there and be trying to coach a side where they're making stupid fundamental errors like this and really giving the ball away in silly areas. Blah blah. You can't coach that out of people. They're either composed or they're not. The recruitment team have brought in a very young squad, which he was halfway through part of. If we had some more experienced bodies on the pitch, and I get Carl's point earlier from my group chat, Dale's been ignored for the best part of a month and probably should be faring because he's got a bit more league experience. But we're very naive. We're making some really stupid decisions.
Well, let me, Gavin, let me just bring this point up. I'm going to bring the stats on in a second. I'm going to read out some of the comments in a minute, but none of us could have argued that was probably our strongest lineup this season so far. Agree?
With the players available, I would say so.
That's what I mean. With what we've got available. So, we all understood. We were saying in the WhatsApp group, we could understand why Edwards was back in to literally ensure that the players were organised and managed, and because we knew it was going to be obvious Wimbledon were going to come at us because their quality. Look at where they are in the league and their performances they've had. So it was disappointing to come away. I'm with you, Gavin. If I look at the comments, I'll just jump to Truth Plym's one just quickly. He said, must have watched a different game to me, Gav. We were poor today. Wimbledon deserved their win. So I'm going to bring up this slide, but before I talk about it, I just want to go through some other comments and I'll go back to the guys. So I've got a few of you in tonight, and it's good to get the comments in, engage with each other as well. That's why we put them up on the screen. Argo 8 or Stephen Cooper was in at the start saying, evening. Hi, Mike. Well. Argo 83, evening. Another depressing Saturday. Absolutely. Andy, good to see you in, Andy, again. Well, in the 89th minute, the Lino sprinted down the wing, outpaced everyone else in a green shirt. Slow play against the back five. Marcus saying, I just got home, guys, and me, Carl, and definitely a penny saying. 3-0 to us on Thursday, he's going with. Sam, evening Sam, another very frustrating afternoon. Argyle 83 goes on to say, we know how teams are going to play. The time wasting and antics at home park, yet we play into their hands, get the second goal and we finish them off. We are incapable, though, of doing that. It is taking that game by the scruff of the neck when we've taken that lead. Cleverly alludes to it in his post-match and Talai as well, to a degree. So it is that. Lots of mentions about Specsavers. Stephen Cooper saying, I thought they had a right go and caused Edwards lots of problems. I felt he just wasn't in the game much in the second half. I think that substitution was right. We'll come to those in a second. MT, evening. Wimbledon keeper also had nothing to do, apart from that brilliant stop from Talai's shot in the second half. Absolutely. Mark, evening Mark. Good, fast start. Then what? Especially poor second half following subs. We were all over the place. So disjointed, slow again, and back and square. Lots of dead wood on the pitch. They were also so much more physical, and quicker. TC had no plan B. Part of me feels that as well again today. Ref was poor, but you can't keep blaming them. Nowhere near good enough for this club. I'm going to read a few more. JT, Ryan Windridge supports Argyle. Not sure what he's referring to there. Sophie's here still. This is Argyle 83, these officials get game time. It's consistently bad week in, week out, yet nothing is done about it. Probably because they don't want Argyle back in the champ again. So on this slide, we obviously show, for those that are new to us, welcome to the channel. We like to throw up a few decks on the stats, etc. So we got the player ratings, we'll talk through that, substitutions, etc. and the video. So we got Harvey's video. He can't join us tonight because he's out for his birthday. And also, let me not hide Gavin away in the corner here. There we go. Sorry, Gav. So this slide explains for me exactly what sort of happened today, and going back to Truth Plymouth saying must have watched a different game. So if you look at the momentum, the first sort of almost 20 minutes really, Argyle got the goal on 6 minutes, and they started to play into the game, move the ball well, and press Wimbledon. I digested all this when I got back and thought the game through because we did frustrate them, and they were starting to get agitated. If you remember, there was that chance that Edwards had, and I watched him before it came to him, and he was trying to beat the offside trap, kept stepping back, was stepping over, stepping back. He was waiting. You could see he was expecting the ball to come. He ran behind the defence. It's just one of the smallest men on the pitch, and obviously tried to bring it down with his chest and didn't. We were creating opportunities there and pitting them under the cosh. But once we started to let them get into the game, and you can see that blue section thereafter, they really took control of the rest of the first half and obviously got that goal. And I think that was frustrating because we could have dealt with that better and managed it better. And I agree with Gavin. Matthias Ross was, I did wonder, you'll see it in the highlights, was he fouled? But he was just out-muscled and he should have never got a Bugiel, should have never got that goal. So you can see the stats. We've seen this a few times, 64-36 overall game possession because teams just close the door. And then we're just moving the ball across the pitch, and we're struggling to find anything in midfield, and even harder against a physical side. So, Carl, I'll come back to you, sort of with what Gavin said, what Andy said, and myself, and the comments there. There was definitely some promise, but we definitely probably didn't deserve anything more than a point if we were going to get that.
I think, to be honest, after the last 3 home games, we only took 1 point against Wigan, Peterborough, and now today against Wimbledon. The only stat that matters for me is that one at the top. We lost the game. The first 10 minutes were okay, looked promising, but it was just weak after that. We didn't seem to have a plan B. We didn't know what plan A was after that either. I'm not sure what our identity is at home at the moment because we're really struggling to create anything. Talai's the only player that really looks positive. I think without him up front, we'd really be struggling. I want to know what's going on with Belarus, why he's not been given game time. Where is Dale? Why is he not even in the squad, letting him on the bench? It just seems slightly strange why we brought him in for the experience of this league and we're not playing him. McCabe is untried again. I don't know what he brings to the team.
Too deep.
Again,
Too deep.
way too deep. And he seems to have more in his locker than just playing deep and just running around looking like Steve Adams used to do. I know he made the game look easy and he did the quiet things well, but I don't understand what McCabe generally brings to this team at the moment.
So just
I
on that,
might be the only one on that, but
just quickly just quickly on that point. McCabe has clearly got quality. He's in the England under.
He should be playing for Middlesbrough. He's got quality.
Yeah, I just don't think we're playing for whatever reason, and I'm not tactically astute person, but we can't surely be playing to his strengths. I mean, Gavin, you're good on this sort of side. What do you see with him?
The issue with McCabe is not his ability; it's his position within the team in the game plan. When we ripped Burton apart up there, he got the ball on the halfway line and beyond a lot of times because our wing backs pushed up high, which pushed their wing backs back, and it meant that he was receiving the ball very high. Because they're sitting with a low block now, the challenge is our wing backs are deep, which means he's sitting deeper as the quarterback, which means he's not giving the progressive passes he's playing forward are only going 15, 20 yards, and then they're going maybe to the centre circle into their half. So if we push out and push deeper, and I watched Tom cleverly below me all game doing this, get up the fucking pitch, move, get out, get up. And they sat back and they sat back and they sat back. His post-match presser was around, we're too hesitant. He's bang on the money. But they can't be trading, be hesitant on Saturday, boys, we'll just sit back here. The game plan must be front foot, move the ball at the pitch. And when we've executed it once, we beat a team that actually everyone said are a dreadful side and going to go down. They beat Cardiff at home or away from home. They've beaten some good sides since. When we have the mindset of foot on the throat, we're going to go and murder these guys, no fear football, we do really well. For whatever reason today, we've scored a really good early goal and then we've gone, oh, shit, don't fancy this. And he's just got deeper and deeper and deeper. And you can see
I think the issue is, Gab, it's not just today. It's been the last 3 home games. You've looked exactly the same. Nothing's improved.
The exact same thing has happened every game, Cole. It's not. You can't sit there and say Lord McCabe is a bad player, or I don't know what he brings to the side.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just don't see what he brings in the current team, especially from home. Away from home, he might be better.
Forward passing balls through the team. The problem is he should be getting the ball 15 or 20 yards further up the pitch. But because the wing backs are petrified of whatever, they're sitting deeper and deeper, which means the back three is sitting deeper. If we squeeze up the pitch and concentrate that area, guess what happens? It means that the advancing midfield player, which at the moment is Ibrahim, he's closer to Orseni and he's closer to Talai. So everything is closer together, which means there's more accuracy on the pass. They're just sitting too deep. And all I saw Tom Cleverly do today was go up. And
if you're a decent midfielder, right, then you're Stevie Adams sort of player. You're sort of box to box, right? You're playing. You're going back and helping your defense course. But you're also pushing up to help your forwards. That's what midfielder does, in my eyes. And McCabe is a good player, but he's sat too deep.
Yeah, I mean, Andy, and I'll come to you all on this. Is that not Cleverly then not getting it right? Now, I sort of agree with you, Gavin, that he can't affect. It's the same with any manager. When the players then suddenly just switch off or step off the gas, when the momentum was there, and I go back to that first 20 minutes was promising, then it just stopped and it was all Wimbledon. So I'll sort of disagree with who wants to disagree with me on that, but you're almost like Peterborough, was it Peterborough? Sorry, and Wigan, where they played that low block from the whistle, and we struggled, and we literally just threw our game plan off. The only shot on goal that we had with Wigan was the penalty crossbar. They don't count that as on target, but so that was frustrating. And then you think, and this is the other frustrating thing, disappointing thing, is that we've had 2 weeks to train to get back. We've got players coming back, and you think, yeah, come on, we can come out, and we were feeling positive. It was a good lineup, and it's just like. But then once they get that block in place. And straight after that second half goal, they knew that because all the other just go and have a low block. Voodoo said it. That they go and set up a low block, and if you want to come and try and grab a point, you'll do that from the whistle, like Peterborough and Wigan. If you think that you can come and have a go and you want to get the points, you know that when Argyle attack, they're going to leave themselves open at times. So use your ability to try and get in there. And we've seen so often. We've done it ourselves now recently with Talai, but teams, when they get one chance, they take it. When they get their chance on goal, they take it. So is there an element of where Cleverley should have expected that come the second half? Should he have tried to change it up? Or, Andy, I'll come through all of you on that, but yeah, what do you think to that view?
Well, we all know that as soon as you kick the ball off, they're going to be coming at us straight away. They want to get that early goal because they know that if they get that early goal, then our heads are going to drop, or they're going to park the bus, which is what Peterborough did, and which was what Wigan did. We're very fortunate at the minute to have some good players on the side, right? But they're just sitting way too deep, and they're not defending it properly, and they're scared of it. I think they're scared of it. The people coming at them, these big centre forwards coming at them, they're scared of it. And that number 9 today for them was a pain in the backside. And he was running it.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I know you mentioned Bauer, Gavin Johnson out-muscled Talai. He was the man marking him, and I just remember that number 6. I think I got the right guy, bold-headed. I think he was just really up against him. Go on.
He was that man of the match.
Yeah.
I think half the problem is if you had a slightly more efficient official early doors. When the ball's coming up, they got his neck, they got the back of his shirt, they've got everything apart from ripping his hair and throwing him to the floor, and the same with the Seni. If they're given early free kicks, they have to back off and stop doing that. Because otherwise, it's going to be multiple infringements, it's going to be yellow cards, etc. By the way, the current referee today gave 47 yellow cards in 10 games.
Dreadful. He's dreadful, mate, I tell you.
Abysmal. Lost control of the game in many ways, but the niggle, I suppose, if we'd gone up a division, there'd have been 6, 7, 8, 9 yellow cards today instead of 3. Because you just can't grab players and throw them to the floor when the ball's in flight coming your way or coming near your way, and that's what was happening throughout the game. So for your point, yes, but Talai is actually quite strong. And when it's fair, he's shoulder to shoulder.
Oh yeah, he was trying. Yeah.
But second half, it was either Pebble or Seni, but I think it was Pebble. The far ends,
correct.
There's a shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Matey boy collapses like a sandcastle at high tide. We've got 3-on-2 going forward, and the referee gives a free kick the other way for the first time in the game. He goes, "Oh, it's unfair," and that was just shoulder to shoulder. There was no hands on bodies.
Correct.
That was purely just someone getting stronger than the other. So, Joe Edwards said it in Club Argyle. He said, we're frustrated with the referees because we just want consistency. So if they're consistently bad for both teams, fine. If they're consistently good for both teams, fine. But at the moment, they're not consistent because one area there's a foul there, the identical situation 5 yards away, it's not a foul. And I think that's where a lot of frustrations come from the fans, certainly, but also you can imagine playing in a game like this as a pro. What are you allowed to get away with, and what aren't you? And that's where we are.
Yeah, just to get, I'm going to read some more comments out in a minute, so some good ones coming in. Cleverley, though, do you think he has something to sort of be blamed there for not being able to mix it up properly in the second half, Gavin?
With what we've got available, I don't know how we can break down this slow block.
So on Thursday, sorry, because I know we agree on this at this point. On Thursday, we talked about Benarouz, Patterson, and I know it was Hatch in the QPR game, but how well they work together. Yep. Obviously, I think it was Mumba, wasn't it, on there? Why couldn't he have, Mitchell was having what I felt was his worst game. He got man of the match, but we'll come to the player reviews in a second. But could he have not have brought Benarouz on then with Patterson and said, you know what? Because when I was looking at it, it felt to me like we had a lot of space and pace on the left side, but we kept hitting it to the right. And then we kept hitting it to no one on the right. And Sorinola, which is why I thought he came on for Edwards, because Edwards was sat deep in the second half, also sat deep in the second half.
My personal view is I would like to see McCabe and Patterson in the same team. Now, then you've got a really difficult choice to make. Who are you dropping? Is it Ibrahim or is it Boateng, who's been the best player consistently in our team all year?
Challenge.
But you need two ball players. If we're gonna play against low block sides, we need a good passer to get it to a good passer who can then thread balls through. And the one time we did it today, we scored.
Yeah.
So Mumba does really well, by the way.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
To win that ball, he then slides it into.
I think it's Waidu.
Ibrahim.
Oh, was it Ibrahim? Right. Apologies. Thank you.
Yeah. So slides it into Ibrahim, who's in the pocket. He looks up and he just threads it through. And blind on the shoulder is Talai, who beats him for pace. And as soon as that ball went through, I just tapped my brother on the shoulder. I went 1-0. And then within 4 or 5 seconds, it was in the back of the net because you can just see the quality that Talai has.
Yeah.
But when they start playing low block, you can't do that because there's a block of 4 and a block of 5 and a block of 4 in front of you. So you need 2 players to be able to pick the lock. It's all but like a combination lock. You've got to get someone through to a player who can then pick the lock. And not having McCabe and Patterson in the team, or McCabe and Benarous, or a variation of those two who can both slide a ball through, are both very good ball players, we're going to struggle. But then you go, if you're in a clanging and banging bud and thud game like we are against Wimbledon, you can't not have a Boateng in the side because he's the physical player. And actually, Ibrahim, especially first half, won so many balls back using physical by getting his body in the way. I'm afraid that McCabe isn't going to do that, and Patterson's not going to do that because they're about 6 stone dripping wet with a duffel coat on between them. Yeah. So you've got to either change formation, but you need to have 2 players, in my opinion, who have got the brain capacity, the capability, and to be able to pick a pass and not lose the ball in those areas, because you can't just go one because we're too deep.
Yeah. So, Carl, actually, I'm going to link in with Sam's comment that he's just posted there at the top of the chat. So to echo the point of, surely we need to use these creative players, Sam says, such as Patterson and Benarous, to unlock these kinds of sides. So I absolutely agree. I mean, Boateng has been brilliantly consistent. We said that on Thursday when we did our player review. You know, he has been brilliant. Ibrahim, I absolutely agree with Gavin. I was a bit disappointed that he was taken off because I felt he was the one that was trying to actually do stuff and make things happen. But when we see this situation, is there a point at which Tom then has to say, I need to see what these creative players can then do, and I need to start with these creative players? Carl,
I mean, we got warned by Watford fans that Tom's quite stubborn and doesn't change things up often. So we know what kind of manager we have here. And he's, I mean, I can't remember a game where his substitutions have changed the game either. Especially recently, especially at home, none of the subs have come on and made us better. We look 9 times out of 10 weaker when the subs come on. Because
in games away though, Carl, when we've had the lead, it's worked. So this is
away to Burton aside, and a lot of the games the subs haven't changed the game. I mean, we were at the time playing a very, very poor Burton side. We probably did score goals because we were more clinical on the day. But I mean, Burton have turned their form around. Fair enough. But yeah, it's just a mystery why Benarous isn't getting the game time. Patterson's obviously being fully fit now, so go on.
So Voodoo made a good point, and it is bang on. When we go away from home, teams are not sitting on a low block with a 5 and a 4 and a 1. They're at home. They've got to get forward. That means we've got plenty of space in those pockets for McCabe and Boateng to pick out whoever that attacking midfielder is, which has been Ibrahim, and he's done very well at it. When we're facing a low block, we don't have that capability, and we don't have that space for them to rush out. So therefore, we've got to have all but a defensive quarterback and an attacking quarterback. But it's then how you put them in the side, because you're then being out-muscled in midfield and will lose the ball a lot and probably be done in transition at home. Away is a different story. I think our system probably works ironically. We just need to find a way at home to win a bloody football match.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to just read out a few more comments and we'll go to the player stats. I said earlier that I felt this was going to be a good one and a lot of good mixed views and opinions. And it's great to see the comments coming that way as well. I'm just going to scroll back a little bit and read some out. So Truth Plymouth said, Talai said, we, meaning Ross, should have been stronger for the equaliser. He's dead right. Yeah, don't disagree. Argyle 83 saying in response to that, Ross is built like a winger, not a centre-back. So Truth Plymouth agreeing with Carl as well. Marcus saying McCabe has been poor in the last couple of games. Phil Tor, evening Phil, good to speak to you before the game. Hi everyone. If that's the standard of fourth, it's a poor league, just bullied us. I think they just played their game and strategy, and I think Wimbledon are really, really good. If they continued open up a bit more, they probably would have got more goals because they did have some breakaways. Mark saying, personally, I feel for Lewis Hammond, as his distribution at times has been excellent and his confidence was growing now, as is this in the song by AC/DC, Shot Down in Flames. What do you think? I don't want to rule it out for one game for Connor, but I wouldn't say it didn't. It did cross my mind, if I'm honest, today with just that decision that led to their equaliser. Everyone's got colds in Plymouth, even Clevs. Maybe the team have got it. Let's not give them excuses, Steve, respectfully. So Voodoo saying we might be a different team away from home this season, echoing Gavin's point, and we'll come on to the Exeter and where I think there will be opportunities, in my opinion there. Ben Collins, evening Ben, evening guys, I've just popped in to say hello. Bit sad after watching that today. Hope Thursday is better. Dean, evening Dean, needs a game time, probably due to a clause in his loan contract, otherwise Middlesbrough will recall him. That's potential there. Voodoo responding to Steve earlier, everyone's got colds in Plymouth. Us use an excuse of Derek Adams' proportions. The footy coach, even absolutely defending shambles today.
On Thursday night at 10:30, going, there's only one colour in Devon and it's green. That'll be fine. We'll live with that.
The footy coach saying absolute defending shambles today. Soft defending for the first goal and poor playing out from the back for the second. So poor today. Yeah, echo and agree with that. Truth Plim, when something is expected of us, i.e. at home or against strugglers, we go missing. Thursday equals tears in his opinion. Matt Corey, evening Matt, good to see you. Our system seems to be that we expect Waidu and Mitchell to act as our quarterbacks and start the play, but they are our worst passers. Mumba kills us positionally as he starts way too high. Voodoo reading out some of the 2 red cards, 3 no penalties, 4 take your chances. Simple, not asking for miracles at this level. And just let me just check a few more at the bottom here. Mark saying McCabe is too slow and weak for this fast-paced game. I still want to see a game where he gets the chance to do what he can do, if I'm honest, before I sort of agree with that. You have to be more alert and quicker, just like Wimbledon today. This is another real problem. Matt Corey, the subs never changed the game for the better because we haven't had one game this season where we've had anyone good enough on the bench. Squad depth is horrid, recruitment very, very poor, which might explain why the invisible man has left us this week. And Jack Vivian, evening Jack, I think Patterson made us better going forward. I agree with that, to be honest, when he came on today. So I'm going to go straight to the players' ratings. So we always take them off. That's not that slide. That's this slide, and that is taken off FOTMob. So no surprises really with the sort of results coming in on there for me, with Talai being up there at 7.9. I think we're so lucky to have him, and his shot in the second half, not the one that the keeper saved at close quarters, but the one that went, I don't know how wide a goal it went, Gavin, you might have had a better angle.
Talai's second chance.
Yeah, the one where it went, he just turned and shot across goal.
When he hit it, I stood up to celebrate, and it just swerved and swerved and swerved. It missed the goal by about 1.5 foot in the end.
Yeah.
So it was quite comfortable, so it didn't shave the post. So he hit it with his instep, and it just swung away from the keeper.
Yeah, it was one of those where you thought we're going to just nick this now, but we didn't. So, right, from the back to the front. So Hazard, 5.2. I don't think that's probably fair. Not much else to do really for him, but that decision was just unnecessary on 54 minutes. It just didn't need to happen. And I wasn't comfortable after that with the whole playing from the back because it was just too much indecisiveness going on. Waidu 6.1, Ross 5.9. I think that's fair for Ross. Mitchell 6.7. Maybe a little bit more than I would have given him. Notably on what you said, he had to shoot back home. So there's clearly stuff still happening, whatever that is. So that obviously can affect someone's mind in a game. Edwards 5.9. So that's quite low. The lowest. Oh no, Mumba's got the lowest. McCabe 6.6, Boateng 6.6, Mumba 5.8, Ibrahim 6.3, and Oseni 6.4. Then, like I said just now, Talai 7.9. So, Andy, I'll come to you on this one. Anything you want to sort of point out, or any sort of issues you had with particular players today?
Well, you know what I'm going to say. Mumba needs bench time, mate. He does need some bench time. He tries too hard, and he loses the ball, and he slips over.
Well, he didn't slip over today. I didn't see him slip over.
Yeah, but it is bench time.
So look, okay, we discussed Mumba on Thursday, and you got to give some more to me for that. So we discussed it on Thursday. I brought up the point, and then Gavin and Herbie, who were on with us because Carl was working, raised some very valid points. Now, I wasn't suggesting that Mumba has had a horrendous season, because I don't think he has in what is a squad that hasn't had a great season. He's been up there with a few assists, but again, it's a weak performance by us so far. I actually thought today that he did all right. And actually, he tried to help and create stuff. He put some good balls in, but it was in a squad then in the end that was obviously depleted of ideas and struggling. So the only thing that I got annoyed with him was when he hit a heavy pass through to Boateng when we had a really good attacking opportunity, and it went out for a goal kick because it was overhit. So I know your views are very strong. Yeah, go on, Andy.
He can't play it simply. He has to do that. They go and beat him again, and then beat him again, and then pass it. But by then the moves down. It's broken down. You've got to have that ball in that box, when there's people in there. And we've had that today. He said he ran into the box today, looked up, and missed all the players. That were there,
His score, Carl, I'll come to you, then Gavin, I'll come to you on it, because I know you're...
I'm going to rant else.
Yeah, that's all right. He has got 5.8, which is the lowest rating. He did have a really low rating against Wigan as well, but... For me, I thought, that's a bit too low. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch for me. Carl.
Totally echo what Andy's trying to say. I think he's been poor most of the season. I don't know why we're harping on that he's been okay. I mean, you half expect players who play for the green shirt to try. That's one of the non-negotiables. Trying to play football and having a good game don't come hand in hand. I think he's been poor for massive parts of the season. 3 assists isn't great. He hasn't scored since April 2024, which says it all. He hasn't really had a good game since Shuey was here. I think Shuey knew how to get the best out of Mumba. I don't think Muslic ever knew what his best position was. I don't think Tom Cleverley so far has got the best out of Mumba. Yes, he's low in confidence. Yes, he's a confidence player. I think once he gets that first goal, things might start to change, but I think at the moment he's just trying too hard. When he gets in good areas, he's either misplacing a pass, misplacing a cross, either shooting extremely weakly, which doesn't even test a goalkeeper, or just runs out of ideas and kind of chases his own tail, like he tends to do in the corner and going around in circles, and doesn't really give us much option. I just think with Patterson on the bench now being fit, Benarous came highly rated from Bristol City. Yes, he hasn't had a lot of games of late because he's obviously multiple injuries, but I think from what they've said to us, he's a very good player if fit. Now, we've seen that in the limited game time he's had in the cup, and how Mumba is still keeping his place ahead of, i.e. Patterson and Benarous, is mind-blowing to me at the moment.
Yeah, so Mr. Magoo, even Mr. Magoo agrees with Andy and Carl, But Gavin, I think, I get the whole he tries too much. He said that himself a few games back in the post-match, and probably feels he carries a bit of weight on. He knows he's got the skill and the talent. Yes, he hasn't scored for a long time, which possibly, I mean, he nearly had that chance in the first half. Was it the first half? Yeah, first half. And I was like, oh, Gavin hasn't picked him to score today. I did. He's going to score, and he didn't. But when we look at the players on the bench, is it then fair to say that maybe he does need to be swapped for someone in the next game, for example?
Well, so just to pick a couple of parts and points that Carl's had apart, he's a joint top assist player in the squad.
That doesn't say a lot when we're 19th in the table.
Well, it does because of the amount of goals we've scored. So it's not scoring's not the problem. It's conceding goals in stupid manners, which I don't think he's been part of once, quite frankly. He's been playing wing back and then left wing, so I think he's had a mixed season there. It's like you're playing 11 and you're up top. Now you're playing wing back because we've gone 3-5-2. I think he's playing too deep, and someone earlier said the problem is he's playing too high. Oh, cool.
Yeah, in the comments.
Where that's come from. He hasn't scored. That's a given. But scoring from wing back against scoring from up top, well, I think when he played a lot in the shoe, he was sort of pushed into that left wing role and then played back to wing back when we played 3-5-2. Has he had his best season? Absolutely not. Am I saying he's the best player in the squad? Not by any stretch. Is the vilification? That's a big word for a Saturday night. I've not had much to drink. Is the vilification of Ballymumba justified? Absolutely not. No, not a chance. He does more good than bad on most days. His decision making on the ball is better than it has been, because in the past gone by, he's tried a risky or he's tried to run inside, lost it, and I remember last season the big high ball where he's trapped it and laid the striker to come in and score, and we lost 1-0 at home. He isn't in his best form. I think everyone says that, and TC said it tonight in the post-match press conference. If you say, we need to try and unlock Bally, apparently TC sat down and watched lots of his highlights in the 101-point season, saying these are the things you need to be doing. I think it's mental, Bally. I really do. And is there a vinification? There we go. Thanks, Philip. That's very good. Is he? Would it hurt him to be dropped for one game? Probably not. I've not got him in for my team against Exeter.
No, I'll show that up towards the end. Yeah.
But is he the nub of all our problems? Not a chance.
No, not all of our problems. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
No, we know that. Yeah,
he's one of the problems.
He's got that. He's got that in him to turn it on, score goals. We've seen that time and time again with Bally. And he's a good provider. Of course he is. I'm not knocking the guy, but I just think today and in the last few games he's made mistakes in key areas which have cost us.
But which mistakes, then, Andy? Point them out.
Right. So the goal there for Wigan, he lost possession there. There was another goal early on in the season where he lost possession in the deep area.
In the last 2 or 3 games, he's got an assist at Burton. Today, the only thing I was upset with Ballymumba today was the Stonewall penalty. He should absolutely bury that on his right foot when he's cut across the box. He's done everything right. He's nicked the ball. He's gone past the defender.
Yeah, that was the one.
He's gone in the box. Just fucking bury it, Bally.
Yeah,
it's it.
An old Ballymumba would have just gone, no. There's no passing. Bang, bottom corner, straight to the Devonport.
He's a confidence player. I get that, Gav. And I wanted to score badly.
He's passed the ball inside, and Joe Edwards has been tripped over after poking the ball past the defender, and we haven't got a penalty. If he got the pen, you'd have said, "There's the assist," right? Yeah. So it's a game of small margins, and look.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not blaming him totally for everything.
Hey, gents, the whole point of this is that we don't want to be all agreeing with everything, because then it'll just be a typical obvious show.
I think the big thing is C. It's a C word, and not the one you're thinking. It's confidence.
It is. Yeah.
It is purely confidence. So somebody needs to get hold of him. If we knew a good psychiatrist or a good counsellor, we could probably recommend one. He just needs someone just clear his mind and go, do you know what? Just Ali, you're in the backyard. Just play football, mate.
Yeah, and look, I'll add on the final point for Mumba. He was the reason that also Talai scored that goal. One of the reasons why Talai scored that goal.
To the ball coming through, because he nicks it, he sees the pass early, and we're gone and we're off.
Yeah,
we're better with Bally in the team, in my humble opinion, in the 3-5-2
When we play right.
setup than we are without.
Yeah,
I just wonder though, guys, if a little bit of time on the bench for him will sort of help to think, I need to get up my game and get my game in order. Because I know he can do it. I've seen him do it, Gav, and I'm not knocking him.
I think the psychology of, right, we're going to take you out the firing line for one game and bring him on with 30 minutes to go, I think he might then just set his mind free and say, I've got to do as I'm told. I think because he's in every week at the minute, something mentally is not clicking in his head.
Yeah, I think he needs to know his shirt's not guaranteed every week, and I think that's the problem. He's going into every game thinking, I'm playing. There's more stress to perform well. I think he needs a Benarus or a Patterson to come in for a few games and just have some realization in his head that he's not guaranteed to start every week, and that might G him on to do a bit better.
Wait until you see Gavin's Exeter lineup. I'll end the Barley Mumber conversation. Hang on. I'll end the Barley Mumber conversation on Voodoo's points. I want to move on. Nothing against Barley, but he was the only player whose release clause wasn't triggered. We know he was looking to leave, and I think I've seen enough overall where I can understand why he wasn't picked up, but I want the Barley back that that we know can call. And that goal, setting up that goal today, and when the players are playing right and they've got the freedom to move the ball, I think then yes, he does come more into his own. So, right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to so many comments, but I'm just going to pick up Harvey's as we always like to bring his post-match viewing. So let me just click on that.
Right then, it's last full time in the Argyle run, Wimbledon 2. It's disappointing, but it's even more disappointing to be 1-0 up. That second half was again very flat, a lot like Wigan. Very flat, very dry, very sideways and backwards. It's not what we needed just for the Devon derby. Wimbledon's come down on noisy. The fans are celebrating all for the night, travelling home, safe journeys to them. Whoever came down, and we really need a lot of work to do before Thursday. Thursday's the big one. Thursday's you can't lose. You've got to do what you've got to do. But it's very disappointing. It's very flat. I'll see you for the Devon derby on Thursday. Come on,
Yeah, very frustrated, disappointed as well. Harvey, I will go to Tom Cleverley's post-match and as well as Talai's. They're both very short. Well, Tom's isn't. It's a minute. So let me play that one now.
You know, when you do go in front so early in the game and start as kind of positively as we did, 6 minutes in, probably the start that you would have dreamed of, wanted, whatever. I'm not suggesting, or people won't suggest necessarily go gung-ho and get a second goal. But is there a kind of a thought that you do put like you said, you've got your foot on the throat, go for it, go for a second, go for a third?
That would be my mentality. I think we will have all learnt that. I think you saw Lee Grant after the Huddersfield game. They started like a house on fire, and got the goal, and then took a backward step against Bolton and paid the price. Very similar for us today. That we didn't go for the second. We didn't. Usually this season when we've scored and taken the lead, you see a team who's really effective when having the lead, and barring Wigan. I think we're the most effective team when ahead, when teams have to come out against us, and we really punish that. Today we weren't clean enough, we didn't commit to wanting the ball enough, we certainly weren't clinical enough in duels and defending, pay the price.
We started the game well. We scored early in the game, and we conceded just before half time. I thought we should have been stronger, and after half time we could have come back in the game, but we didn't. We conceded again, the 2-1, we lost the game. I thought they were better physically than us. And
so that's Talai. That's a man who's like, I'm doing my job. Yeah, come on, guys, do yours. As someone said in the comments earlier, he was all but not mentioning Ross. Saying that we should have been stronger in that first goal. We've seen from Ross that he's got some really good ability. They were just a really physical side today. And just a point I just remembered I looked at it earlier in terms of the sort of value of the squads. Wimbledon's, this is off FOTMob, market value of their squad is 2.9 million. million versus our 5.9 million. But they've obviously brought in some quality players. Their number 16 that came on in the second half really impressed me, where he got forward and just outpaced Boateng. They played well when they needed to in that game. But yeah, Cleverley's also right, Andy, isn't he? In the sense of that, his mindset, which is also a dig at his players, is to go on and take the game and go and win it. Don't just think, we're doing all right here. We'll comfortably win this. But yeah, it's just frustrating, isn't it, all round?
Yeah, I mean, when you get that first goal, you think, come on, let's go and get another one. Let's put it to bed early, and then Wimbledon have really got to come at us. And then they're going to have gaps and we exploit them. So we just didn't do that. We got the goal and we seemed to sort of, right, we got the goal. What do we do next? As Gav said, what do we do next? Where do we go from here? And we just seemed devoid of any sort of movement forward. It was like side to side again and long punt and ball up, but no end product.
No, I'm going to play the highlights now because I want us to move on to the
do you have to?
Exeter game. Yeah, absolutely, because that's what we do. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. It's only 2 minutes worth, so go and have a quick wee if you need one.
You can just stop it after this goal. Cheers.
That's a quality ball. It's a great free ball.
It's a great finish.
Carl. You wanted me to stop it?
Yeah. Very good.
Oh, sorry, I'm with you now. Sorry. Wasn't a great finish. With confidence.
They don't show the bit before this.
No, they don't. This is that great
That's a
save.
great save. But then he made the mess to start with by flapping at the ball.
There's no penalties. They don't show either of the penalties either.
Only that.
Wonder why.
Yeah. This is where we should have just got rid of that better, really. But anyway.
And no respect, our skipper there has done a Victor Paulson. I haven't seen this from this side of the pitch. I'll sit the other side.
Yeah.
He's given him far too much space to cross the ball there. Get
Correct.
tighter. Block the bloody cross.
That was what frustrated me watching it back.
He was a pain in the neck that nine.
Oh, he's a big lad for it.
Yeah. Who wasn't?
This is just...
Yeah.
What is he doing there? What is he doing? I'll let it go bang. Again, Boateng should be stronger there. But, wrong start.
Just got out-muscled, didn't he? All over.
Yeah. And notwithstanding that they didn't have Stevens in the game, he was injured and he's their top scorer.
Which is Talai's effort, isn't it?
Numbers
tame shot.
That's the tame shot I was on about.
Yeah.
To be fair, he did well to make the effort, though. No one else was. That was a brilliant ball.
This is hell of a save.
Yeah, it is.
Great save.
We're seeing it from the other angle. He's absolutely nailed that, and he's got down
and look, they go on the floor. Oh, I'm injured. Blow up, ref.
He should have scored here. Boateng got out muscle again here.
Complete Halliburton again. That should be announced.
Yeah.
I mean, Hazard should come off his line there, but
I think Boateng actually sticking with him and not giving up. Not saying that he would do. Actually, just did enough to pit him off.
Put him off, didn't it? Yeah.
There we go. A few more seconds, folks. We'll take the pain away. That's that shot.
Oh, you just that's a nestle in the bottom corner, doesn't you?
As it leaves his foot, you think it's bottom corner, and then it just swerves away.
Yeah.
Just go back to Ty's full after Charlie Price interview. He does then say, "I should have won us the game because I had two clear chances second half and I didn't take either." Charlie Price then says, "Oh, well, actually, you can put one down to a great save," and he was like, "It's my job to put it away." So
he hit that hard. The keeper did well.
I don't think he's naturally saying, "Well, I did my bit and everyone else didn't do theirs." I think if he put one of those away, we'd be having a different conversation, only slightly. But put both away, we'd have said, "How the hell have we won that?"
Yeah. Every team is going to be looking to try and lock Talai out because if he just gets a sniff of a chance of a shot at goal, let alone break free, it's going on target, and the keeper's either got to save it or it's going in the back of the net. And since when have we been able to say anything like that? So the league table to give this pain on this
down,
as well. We are in 20th, so we are one place outside of the relegation zone, with Burton on 12, us on 13 points. Exeter, who also lost 1-0 today, are on the same points. It's just the goal difference. We've scored more, but obviously conceded more. Tuesday night, Thursday night. My view on this is that I think Argyle got the edge, the momentum a bit. And the reason why I say that is if Exeter were coming down here, I'd be worried, if I'm honest. I mean, their last recent run of form for Exeter is loss, drawn, won, loss. Obviously, ours is slightly better with that extra win. But I just think when we go up there, I think the pressure's going to be more on them, and I think we can, with our performances away, hopefully we can unlock that and deliver the result that we all badly need, and it can kickstart our run of these 5 away games. Gavin, what are you thinking coming into Thursday? Well, hang on, let me find your team lineup.
Let me go back one step a minute.
Go on.
Look at the form guide there of Wimbledon.
Hang on, let me
of
jump.
the last 5 games, they've only drawn 1, and they've lost the rest. So they beat us today. They drew with, I can't remember who that is. They beat Blackpool 2-0 away. They beat Wickham 2 at home, and they beat, I don't know who that is away. I can't see the badge. Doncaster away 2-1. So we're not playing a scene. I know we're all sitting here going, "Woe is us." But we've not played Blackpool today, been smashed and grabbed from an awful side. They're 4th for a reason, and they're now 1st in the form guide in the division.
Yeah, you can see where they had that quality. I'm just going to bring up your and sorry, Voodoo. Yeah, I should have flipped the league table, shouldn't I? So as Carl Pitt, let me bring up your lineup. So this is. Well, let's get rid of us to the right. Actually, let's get rid of us completely and put the chat back on. So look, no Mumba. So Gavin sent me this before we went live. So go on, take us through and what you think Argyle and Cleverley need to do, Gavin, and I'll come to Carl and Andy as well for their thoughts.
So I've picked the team on experience mainly. Oh, look at that! You got a multi. There you go. You're getting very good at this platform.
Don't need the names.
So obviously Hazard and goal, easy peasy. I don't think Wuradu did enough today to retain his place. In the post-match pressure, TC said that Cornell will be available for selection on Thursday. For me, that's good enough. We missed his throw-ins today. It's a tighter pitch up at St James's Park. His throwing up there will be even more deadly, and he's a better player of the ball, I think, than Wuradu. And I just think we need to freshen up at the back because we've conceded 2 soft goals today. Joe retained his place over Saranola because it's going to be a cauldron up there, and I think without Joe on the pitch, we are in trouble. I said that on Thursday night. I think Joe has the game because he's going to be that calming influence on the pitch, and he's going to, as TC says, the on-pitch coach that we've been missing. I've kept Law, McCabe and Boateng in the side. I think Law will get the ball forward. McCabe's there. So, unfortunately, his mistakes cost him for Thursday night, and he's out the side.
Yeah,
it is what it is. He'd be on the bench.
But we are saying, no, how do we get these other players in?
Well, you can't play all 3 and play wing-backs, right? Or play 4 in midfield. I've then gone, Benarouz, I think, deserves a start. I think we've all said that on the left-hand side of midfield. And then I've gone for experience up top. So I've gone for Patterson, Dale and Talai. I know Dale's not had a sniff. He's not even been in the matchday squad for the last, I think, 3 games. Oh, no, he was in last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was weekend in this one.
But he's not had any game time in over a month. But I think he's been a promotion winner with Oxford. He's been playing Championship football. He's played top-end League One football. In a game like that, you're going to need experience and cool heads and people that can not make mistakes on the ball. And I think my brother said this to me today when we were watching. Pato does not make a bad decision when he has the ball.
No, I wouldn't disagree. I thought he was good today.
Right? Okay. He made it not necessarily the worldie splitting the team open and that was great vision. But he never loses the ball. And normally, there is some kind of forward momentum with whatever he does. It takes man on or he makes a forward pass, but he doesn't lose the ball and he doesn't make many bad decisions.
Just sticking with him briefly, Gavin, if I may. The thing with Patterson, the same with Benarouz. I mean, Patterson's chip in to Talai that was saved obviously by the keeper at close quarters. Just literally split their, right over their defence straight to him. Benarouz, we know, can put in great crosses of the ball. If you're those players and you're Talai and you're like, you just give me these balls and I'm going to bury them for you. That's probably who you want.
Yeah. For me now, this is about experience. This is about, and I'm not saying this team will maybe finish the game. And obviously, there are 2 or 3 good players today that have not made the side, right? And then you've also got game changers in Tegan Finn, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And Asani's been. I think we got really carried away with Burton because we went 3-5-2 and we beat them handsomely. We had 2 up top, and then it hasn't worked since. Let's be candid about it. It hasn't. Asani's huffed and puffed, but he's not blown any houses down since that game. He works hard, but a couple of times today in possession, he lacked a bit of quality. So I think if you go with a 2 and a 1, they play very similar. Exeter, I think they're. Let me just double check. But I think their lineup is 3-4-1-2. So we would play 3-4-2-1. So very, very similar. So that midfield battle is key. The one thing that I thought long and hard about after the game about who you drop was the Ibrahim thing, because actually he's done, apart from one brain fart today, he's done nothing wrong and he's been a very lively player. But I just think if you have McCabe and Patterson in the same team, you're going to want pick locks, especially in a circumstance where you've got Talai, who every time he touches the ball either scores or makes the keeper work in most occasions. So that's what I've done. Pick that apart because I know it's probably not what everyone would have expected as a lineup.
No, I think that's great because actually, as Andy just said, like that lineup, and Carl, I'll come to you. I think, Suits potentially, yes. I think Waidu is still good, but I absolutely agree with the experience side of this, and having Edwards in that squad to make sure that they are all in order. I think that could be interesting. Benarouz and Patterson, definitely for me. Dale, I think, it's a fair shout. And then you've got, you probably will have a very itching to get on Ibrahim for being dropped, and then even Finn. But so go on, Carl, what would you do?
Totally agree with Jamie Patterson and Benarouz starting. Also agree with Edwards has to start this game just purely because he's the captain and the experience he's had in Devon derbies. I would not drop Ibrahim because he's been the best player of the season for me so far, along with Boateng. I don't think Law McCabe, it's going to be a good game for him personally at a Devon derby. He's probably got not much experience with derbies, has he? So I think having...
You'd play Boateng and Ibrahim.
I would play Boateng and Ibrahim. Yeah. I think we need Ibrahim's...
aggression.
Not antics, but his way he winds players up, his ability, and obviously with his aggression in the midfield. I think we need that. I think Law McCabe hasn't really done enough to keep his place, if I'm totally honest. Mitchell, Ross, agree. I wouldn't go for Such. I don't think he'd be thrown in after 6 weeks into a Devon derby. I think Galloway would be a more sensible bet, having more experience, and again, played in Devon derbies before. I think Such for the last maybe 20, 30 minutes is a good shout. I'm surprised why he wasn't in the squad today, because cleverly did say that he was. One
of the reasons I went to call out, mate, is purely the throw element, because I think we missed that, and throws isn't good enough compared to his. And I just thought, well, if he's fit, give him 60 minutes and then bring someone else on. But
I kind of get the throw thing, but we don't seem to latch on to many long throws anyway, so I don't think that's going to be a game changer.
Big in it, do we know?
Huh?
What's that?
As Exeter side, I mean, it did feel pointless against Wimbledon today, if I'm honest. But Exeter,
I mean, if we get first contact on these balls, but we don't seem to, even if it suits your word. I don't think this long throw is working personally. Does anyone know if we scored many long from many long throws this season?
Got to have the height.
That'd be an interesting stat to try and look out for, because I don't think we've capitalised on long throws, if I'm honest. Under Muslech, I think we scored a few goals when we started to use Such's throws, but not under Cleverly. But no, I think we got a good core there with what Gab's gone for, but I wouldn't go with Such. I'll go for Galloway. The front three, I would like to see the front three as it is. I don't think Dale's going to come out of the blue and start a game either. So I still think he'll go for Mumba, if I'm honest. But I would like to see Dale in place of Mumba. But yes, it's not a bad looking lineup.
No, I like the mixing it up. So,
Yeah.
Andy, what's your thoughts? Some good points there from Carl.
My only concern is Alex Mitchell, because if he's got this family issue and he's had to go back to London today, is he been affected by that mentally? I'm just wondering if that was part of his game today, why he wasn't so effective in that game. So I sort of drop Mitch out of the team and bring Benarouz back to the left, the sort of left side, and then have Ibrahim up along where Benarouz is now. So that's the only sort of changes I'd make. Cornell, I'm not 100% sure about, but I think, yeah, as Gav says, his throw is going to be good. But yeah, Mitch is probably the only concern that I would have out of that lineup. It's a good lineup. And the front three, I totally agree with.
Is there, and this is where my sort of tactical side of things is absolutely pants. But if you were going to try and be aggressive, could you get away with playing, and dare I say it, Ibrahim and McCabe together?
No, I don't think McCabe is going to be suited for this game at all. He's not strong enough. He's got no experience in games like this. I don't think it's a game for McCabe.
It's the passing and moving that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think Boateng at the minute is undroppable. And you need Ibrahim in there.
Could you possibly have Tegan Finn at Lord McCabe's place?
No,
because Tegan Finn has scored against Exeter in a big 9-0 win recently for the youngsters, isn't he?
You can't play Tegan Finn in the middle of the midfield. He'll be absolutely trounced. You need a ball winner in there. Ideally, you'd have a little diamond between him, Boateng, and Ibrahim, which is what we started playing. But there isn't the capability, I would think, in a lineup at the moment that's going to get them all in the same side. If you want to play a wing back in Edwards and Benarouz. So if you go back to a back four, you probably could accommodate those three and have them as three as the midfield, which is what we've done earlier in the season. So you could play 4-3-3 and bring Joe Edwards back into right back and play, bring Benarouz in at left back and play Joe Edwards at right back and drop one of the two centre halves. Or you could play Cornell Sutra at right back, drop Joe Edwards and play Eamon Benarouz at left back. But I don't think that's suited to the squad, and we haven't been particularly effective in a 4-3-3 for some time because we haven't got wingers. I
was just Exeter's actual lineup in their last home game against Reading, where they drew 1-1, was a 4-2-3-1. So I think that's a strong. There's a lot of ability there and quality and experience to unlock Exeter, and as sort of Voodoo said, as I said, pressure is on the bin juice, as he's put it, being home, just follow my rules and we will win by 2 or 3. I think we've got to go there with, and that's why I think it's so pivotal that this game is up there, not down here, with the situation at home at the moment. Yeah, look, I think it's going to be an interesting one. That I've got just something. Where else am I going here? Have I got anything else to bring up? I was going to go through the results of today, but we're running on a bit. So I have got one more thing. Let me just load it up. I mean, we talk about merchandising. Gav, guess what's coming? So we like a bit of so we've created the Diamond Collection bottle of wine, and that's specifically and specially, I should say, for you, Voodoo, as you are clearly enjoying a venison steak there in this marketing shot. But it's the Diamond Collection from Voodoo Vineyards, and it's got its bin number of block 9257, which is my seat. So I was having a bit of fun with that the other day, and I said to Gavin, "Look what I've created here." I said, "We'll have to use that on the show at
That's
some
not bin
stage."
juice you had there, is it?
I've got another photograph, but I'll dig that out later. But yeah, it's brilliant. What you can
curly
do.
fries with a steak, though.
Yeah, no, terrible. Especially venison steak.
I don't think Voodoo's ever eaten anywhere where there's curly fries on the platter.
Excellent. So, what the hell?
Oh dear.
So I'm gonna read through a few more comments before we sign off, but just quickly, thanks everybody who's joined us tonight. We've got a good number on, and even though it is disappointing with that today, hopefully we've given you a good mixed bag of reaction there, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I do think Exeter, will prove, dare I say it, positive in terms of next week. We aren't going to do a live lounge because of that. I was thinking about doing it earlier in the week, but I'm conscious of what else I've got on, let alone the other guys. But what I'm going to still try and look to do is I may still do the watch along where I might come on here. I won't be able to obviously share the game, but I'm sure if you haven't seen these already, people go on YouTube and they stream themselves watching their team. And I thought I might do that. And if you, because if you're at home watching it on Sky, if you're not able to make it, then you can come in and give some commentary and thoughts on the game. And then what we might do, I know Carl's working, Andy's not sure yet, Gavin, I don't know about yourself, but if we can, then we might get whoever's free on, and we might just summarise the game as well before we sign off. So watch out. I'll put a post out about that and schedule it on YouTube if that's what I do. Obviously, there'll be no game on the Saturday. So depending on how that goes, we may then do the Saturday night, or actually, if I'm honest, we're doing some decorating this weekend, so a break might be good, and then we might pick up again on that Thursday. So keep an eye out for that. So just going to read through some of the comments.
Just quickly, Mike, looking ahead, what's everyone's opinion on cancelling the Bradford game? Would you want that played, or would you want it cancelled?
It all depends on how our momentum is come that game. So if we've done well away,
to be honest, I don't think we're going to miss McCabe. I wouldn't be that disappointed if Luke Ashby-Hammond starts in goal. And I think we could. Why couldn't we play the game? You know, we're not losing massive key players, are we? All over the pitch.
Three players, isn't there? And
Zimbabwe don't have a game. I don't think actually that the England under 20s have a game either, because they're not in the tournament. So I don't know if there's a friendly. So the person we could potentially only lose would be, and it's a big cup qualifier, so he'll definitely go. Will be Hazard.
Unless Bradford have got more international call-ups, I don't know. But
possible, don't know.
Well, look, I go back to my point. If we're on a good run, you won't want it stopped. If we're having a bit of a mare, then you might want that break.
It will very much depend on if we've got any players that are just about to come back, having that extra week of training where they can come in and get on the grass. And I'm thinking potentially Amici might be there or thereabouts, coming towards the end of that. I don't know. But if there's two players that are just about to come back in and we give the extra week, I would say can it. If not, I would say just play the bloody thing.
Yeah. We might have Mackenzie back as well. You never know, do you?
No, exactly. Yeah. Right, let me read out a few more comments, and before we sign off, go top to bottom as it is at the moment. Steve saying Galloway won't have a game, no game for Zimbabwe next international break. So, okay, that ticks out.
GPT.
Truth Plim saying decorating sounds much better way to spend a Saturday afternoon at the moment, to be honest. Well, I will still be listening or maybe watching it if I'm not in here, over in France, whatever it is, on your VPNs. So I still definitely will be keeping an eye out. GT, who really made me laugh after our first day of Thursday show, because as we went offline, you literally just dropped in with late to the show, but you've been in tonight. Yeah, so we'll be there for the watch along. So yeah, may well do that. Voodoo Pomsoteo chap. So is what he's saying there. I'll have to work that way, Monster. I'll have to work that one back. Andy Prowse, like I said, agrees with that lineup that Gavin put out, and a few have agreed with Carl with his suggestions. I think that's what's going to make it an interesting selection headache for Tom Cleverley. Stephen Cooper, are we the main game on Sky on Thursday? If we are, Gavin's nodding. I can see in the corner of my eye. I bet Jamie Mackey will be on Sky. I wonder what team his heart will come on. Go to. Come on, you Greens.
Just hope it's not Clinton Morrison. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Just a Jano who I saw with some comments earlier, and I didn't get a chance to come in and say evening. Good to see you in again. He said, disappointed with Argyle today, not doing anything for Sparksy. Yeah, we noted that on Thursday, thanks to Argyle on their X account, who posted about it on Thursday, to be fair. Just a Jana, but yes, they could have maybe done something. I've noticed as well that they've started, I don't think they did this before, correct me if I'm wrong, but they have started to announce birthdays and put pictures up on the big screen. Disappointed with that was the same comment. Apologies. Graham Byrne, we were not that good. We're not that good, are we? Exeter beat us, and it will be toxic. I think it will be really difficult because those 5 games, as we said earlier, is going to be or define our season, as Cleverley has said himself on Thursday. So yeah, that's the last thing we need is for that to go Pete Tong. And yeah, going back, just have a look. I think most of those. Is anybody going on Thursday as well? I think someone asked. We're not. Harvey, I know, is of course. Herbie is of course. So yeah, we'll see whether or not we can get any of them to log in while they're on their way back. Although the signal on the A38 isn't any good, really, is it? So, but on that note, I think what are we in an hour and 18 minutes after the countdown? So. Look, everybody, tough one today. Benny Van Life actually saying watch along would be good, so I think I'll then jump on it and do that. But yeah, look, it's Argyle season, isn't it? So let's see what Thursday can bring. Stranger things have happened, and God, please get us a result, guys. Truth Plim saying thank goodness Europa League is also on Thursday. So take your pick. We might switch games if it's going that bad. But thank you for all of you who are coming today. Please give us a like, a share, and do all the usual things. If you can, subscribe on YouTube, even if you don't go on there much and you watch through X, etc., please go on and give us a subscribe. It all helps as the numbers build up, and it helps get the videos more exposed. And obviously, of course, you got the merch. Naturally, I'm going to say that. But yeah, visit the block9.co.uk for details on that. Final thoughts from you, Andy?
Got to do better. The Exeter is going to be a must-win for us, but the pressure is going to be on them, I think. So hopefully we'll go and get 3 points up there.
Yeah, good. And Carl, your final thoughts?
Yeah, I just really want to see us bounce back, especially against them up the road. I think if we go up there and put in a decent performance and get 3 points, then the season we'll be back on track again. But I just fear for the worst. I don't think the pressure's on Exeter. I think the pressure's on us because we are the bigger club. We are the club looking like we should be the ones bouncing back with our recent form and getting up this table. So I don't think there's any pressure on them. I think they'll be high on confidence and want to put some wrongs right. So I just hope we don't fall into that. Nance gives cleverly some words and some experience that, you know, what we need to do in a Devon derby, because he hasn't got any experience about it.
Does Cleverly need to be told anything about hot-headed derbies?
Well, I think he needs to be told about the Argyle Exeter one. It's not all about the Premier League, Michael, is it? Come on.
No, but I think he'll get that. He'll certainly get that.
I know.
So hopefully he'll be
I think having Nance in his ear is going to be vital.
He might have just prepared for one or two Manchester derbies in the past.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But go on, Gavin, final thoughts from you. Thank you, Carl.
So always trying to look at the glass half full, not glass half empty. 2 wins, and we could potentially catapult ourselves up 6, 7, 8 places in the league. Less of a pressure, I think, away from home. I don't agree with Carl there in any way. I think the pressure's on the filth. They're 1 place above us. They will want to go and win that game in front of their fans because, you know, that'll make them feel good for about the next 25 years. But let's be candid, because they haven't beat us for ages.
That was your first Let's Be Candid of the podcast tonight.
No, second.
I know, second.
Blimey.
God's clocking, are you?
On that basis, I think we'll go up there, make a show. It'd be nice if we could get Pat Butcher back, couldn't we, just for one game?
Pat!
And Agent Aimson, just to give us the flick into the goal and deflect it. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we won't have either of those in the game. So, let's go up there and take it to them. It's Thursday night under the lights. Ballymumba, Screamer, 30 yards.
That would be typical.
That would be the game he would do it in.
The one, Joe Bell texted me earlier, and he said, "Can you buy me some shares in Unilever?" He said, "I've just been looking at Twitter." He's right. The problem is, I suppose it's most fan bases, but especially ours. You lose a game at home. We're going down. If we win Thursday night, whoever scores is going to get the Ballon d'Or, and we're going to go up, automatic promotion. So, let's just get a grip, all of us. It's going to be a 1-0 win to us on an horrifically bad goal from Talai. It comes off his bell end or something, I don't know. But
the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on that bombshell, look.
Just one thing, Mike, hang on with it. One thing, do not go anywhere yet. We have one thing in our armoury which could unpick Exeter in Caleb Watts, who's going to know a lot of their players and know their weaknesses. So who knows?
If you allow him to play with crutches, he could probably have 20
He
minutes.
probably would. He'd probably play a lot better, but he's going to know a lot of their players, aren't he? So he's going to have
Fair enough.
knowledge on them.
Fair enough. But yeah,
Anyway,
ladies and
sorry,
gentlemen,
Mike.
boys and girls, enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend. And we shall then see you, or I certainly will then if I do this watch along on Thursday. Fingers crossed it all goes well. Have a great